What's going on, IP land? It's Gerald here again, coming at you from frontendaudio.com, and I'm here today to talk to you about the AKAI APC40. The AKAI APC40 is a controller specifically made for Ableton Live. The good thing about this is when you hook this up and run it with the Ableton Live software, you're not going to have to worry about any kind of mapping. All the controls and functions on here are automatically mapped to the software, but it's also completely customizable, so you can get these to control whatever kind of functions it is that you want. It's USB powered as well. The APC40 is designed for home studio use or live use. Ableton Live software, if you're familiar with it, it's a DAW that you can use for recording. It's used in home studio uses, but its main use is for live sound and DJs, things like that, just because of its clip selection tool. Being able to switch back and forth between different clips makes it real easy for DJs to move through their set. And right now I'm just going to go over a couple of the functions of the APC40. Right here at the top, you've got the clip launch section. Holding the shift button will switch this over into your session overview. These clips in the clip launch section are going to be lit 3 different colors. When the clip is green, that's going to mean that it's playing. When it's orange, that's going to mean that the clip slot is loaded, but that clip isn't playing. And when the clip slot is red, that's going to mean that it's recording. Right underneath that, you've got your clip stop button for each track, and then over here to the far right, you've got stop all clips. And right above that as well is your scene launch buttons for each of the 5 different scenes that are viewed at once. That's to launch the entire scene right there. And also, when you've got Ableton Live opened up along with this, there's going to be an orange box that goes around the tracks that are currently selected. So to move up and down through the different banks of clips that you have, you'll just go down through the bank select button. And to move by groups of 5, you would hold down shift and move up or down as well. And that's going to be highlighted for you inside of the software. Underneath that, you've got your track select buttons 1 through 8, along with the master track select to control your master fader. And below that, you've got your 3 typical functions that you've got on any kind of controller. You've got your record arm at the bottom. Above that is the solo button. The solo button also controls your cue, and the cue knob is over here to the right of that, and also your mute or activator button. And then down here you've got your 8 faders along with the master fader as well. These faders, they got a good bit of resistance to them, so you're not just going to be moving all across your software, you know, taking parameters way out, going way up or way down, so it'll be able to dial in a really good setting with these. And also the faders are not automated, but the faders that are on your software, the level on your software is not going to move until you move this fader to where it is at. So say you've got the fader all the way to the top on the APC40, but in your software it's all the way at the bottom. When you move that to the bottom, it's going to catch it and then move back up with it so that you've caught where the level is at without having the faders being automatic. So that's a really good function right there. Right here you've got your track control section. Track control is going to control the pan and send levels for whatever track you have selected. To do that, all you do is go here and press pan, and then you'll be able to control the pan from that track and switch to send A, send B, or send C, and that's going to control the send level for the track as well. Right here you've got your tap tempo button, which does just what it says. It's a button for you to tap the tempo out, and the nudge plus and minus button is for you to slightly shift the beat upward or downward in time. Then right down here you've got your device control section. This is another handy tool for Ableton Live users. One of the good things about this is that the devices that you have loaded onto each track, this is going to be automatically mapped to those, to the controls of that device. So if you've got a compressor or an EQ or something loaded onto your track, you can just come to this and it's going to automatically be mapped out to the controls that are on that device. Right here you've got your clip track toggle button to toggle between the 2 views. This is the device on and off switch. What this is going to do is just turn it on and off. If you want to bypass it for whatever reason, whatever your signal chain is, you want to bypass an effect and go on to the next one, you use that to turn them on and off. You've got your left and right buttons right here. This is going to move between the different devices that you have on the track. And the knobs right here, again, just like the faders, they've got a good feel to them. You can see they've got the green LEDs lit up. Green LEDs are really good for being able to check out where the level is, where you're at on the track's parameter. Below that, you've got the detail view button. What this is going to do is switch between the view, how you're seeing the track, whether it be the waveform view or you're actually looking at the effect that you've got on the track. And these three buttons right here, the record, quantization, the MIDI overdub, and the metronome, they're more for the home studio guys that are using this in their studios. You know, metronome is just that, it turns the metronome on and off. MIDI overdub is if you want to re-record something on top of a track. And the record quantization is going to do just that as well. That's going to quantize everything that is recorded in to the tempo that is set. Below that, you've got your three typical functions, your master, play, stop, and record buttons. And below that is the A-B fader. This switches between A-B of a individual track. If you've got a drum part, two different drum parts on one track, you just switch this between the A and B mode. It's good for switching back and forth between those, whatever different parts you may have on a single track. All right, on the rear of the unit, right here, we've got two foot pedal outs. Right here is your USB connection, your 12-volt DC power, and also the power on-off button. So that's basically it. The AKAI APC40 is a really simple to use controller for Ableton Live. This can also be used with other pieces of software. It isn't only compatible with Ableton Live, but you would have to go in and map out the controls to work with whatever software it is you were trying to use with it. But for Ableton users, this thing is a no-brainer. I mean, the way it's laid out just like your track and session views inside of Ableton. For people that are familiar with it, it's going to be really easy for them to jump in and get going right away. So for more information on the AKAI APC40 and for all your pro audio needs, check us out online at www.frontendaudio.com. Thanks.